Serious, what is stopping you from killing yourself? Dude, it's weird. Like before, if I was going through all the shit I'm going through now, my first thought would be, let's odd, but now I'm just like, let's cry about it and then do something to fix how I'm feeling since I can't change the situation I'm currently in. And it makes me so happy that I no longer even relate to depressed memes anymore. Good luck new apartment dude, and I'm happy for you. My son and my husband. My youngest died of cancer just before his 4th birthday. I would have gone with him, except I have another son who is 6 and I couldn't make him lose his mother right after he lost his little brother best friend. I can't bring any more grief to my already grieving family. But I miss my baby so much it hurts to live.
Hey guys, much like you, I love reading people's stories on Ask Reddit. Unfortunately, there's a lot of weird middle school level, just thought experiment type hypotheticals like nice try Baskin Robbins. I don't find this compelling, so that's why I've made it my mission to trawl and crawl through Ask Reddit and find the very best content and put it in your ears. That's why I'm begging you, like and subscribe. If there's anything I can do to help you out, give you the kind of content that you crave to help you get through your workday, let me know in a comment. But please like and subscribe.
I realize my account is anecdotal. But I disagree. I'm a nurse in ICU. We see the failures quite often. A plastic surgeon I was transferring my patient to made the joke, obviously in bad taste, but it's how people cope, that we need a PSA on how to commit suicide cause we keep getting the mistakes. A long gun has enough kickback that you very frequently miss enough of the brain to kill you. Instead, you blow off your face. You will likely never eat again, the blast fragments damage your eyes to functional blindness, the gun blast deadens your hearing, and you might need a tracheostomy to breath. You now receive your calories through a PEG tube directly into your stomach. Your family is traumatized because they found you, or witnessed you attempting to kill yourself. They had to pull the gun away from you to stop you from finishing the job. They have to clean up your blood and flesh from the walls. Now you are still depressed, but there are a multitude of physical ailments you will be dealing with for the rest of your life. It's a horrible option. Please don't do it. You think things are bad now, just imagine the fact I don't actually want to. I'm stuck in a rut and suicide feels like the best option, but it's not what I want. Thank you so much to everyone who showed support. I'm sitting in work trying not to get overwhelmed with emotion because of it. I'll try my best to get back to every single response, but just know I'm grateful to know people care. Thanks for the awards too, my wife. We currently don't live together because we can't afford it at the moment. Whole bunch of other reasons go into it, but right now, I'm miserable and stuck renting a room in a basement. I get to see her every once in a while and eventually we will live together. It's gotten bad enough that I broke down crying in Walmart yesterday. I've seen firsthand what suicide does to friends and families. It's like detonating a bomb in people's lives. Some never truly recover. I might hate myself and struggle with suicidal thoughts, but I don't hate anyone else enough to put them through that sort of pain. Plus I have a son now, I live for him. Since some people are commenting about this, no, I'm not calling people who kill themselves selfish. I struggle with suicidal thoughts, and the reality that my death would devastate people in my life doesn't just make those feelings disappear or invalidate my reasons for feeling them. In the words of Carl Sagan, better by far to embrace a hard truth than a reassuring fable. The truth is that those who suicide are looking to end the pain. It's also the truth that people in that person's life will likely be deeply and forever traumatized by their suicide, regardless of their motivations. Both these points can be, and are nearly always, true. My mom and our dog, and I try to keep reminding myself that it probably can't really become a lot worse, unless something truly unexpected happens, like my mom dying or something, and things can probably only improve from where I am now. Also, death terrifies me tbh. I witnessed the aftermath of a good friend trying to kill herself. I was 13 and it was absolutely traumatizing. I realized that the easiest way for the world to destroy you is by having you destroy yourself. So I decided staying alive and becoming the best person I could be would be the most effective middle finger to this. It's still a long and hard key, but thanks to therapy and some good luck, I am finally getting out of a life cycle of OCD and depression and towards a happier life. Thank you so much, kind stranger. You took my award virginity. I don't give a flying fuck about myself and intentionally make myself miserable more often than I'd like to admit. However, I have 3-year-old twin boys that I know would never recover from their mother's suicide. That's the true reason. Before they were born, it was my mother. And it still is her to an extent because I'm an only child, very close with my mom, and I know it would ruin her. Becoming a mother taught me that more than anything, that fear of losing your child. If I just took myself out like that, everything my mother has sacrificed and poured into me would be for nothing. To the kind stranger who gave me my first award, it literally made me let a little squeal of surprise joy, so, thank you. Maybe a reminder of the little joys in life? Very fitting. What stopped me in my tracks last time was the thought of what it would put my best friend though. I couldn't face it, couldn't bear the sadness I know that she'd feel. Just the mere idea of it made me take a minute to consider what I was doing. Edit, thank you for the wholesome award, kind Redditor.
I turned 36 this year, and I decided to focus on my physical fitness, so I bought a swim club membership. The only problem was, most of the time when I go swimming, I wind up getting an ear infection. So it turns out that normal earplugs, they kind of irritate your ear canal, they don't really work, they don't keep the water out, but there is an amazing kind of earplug called Mack's Pillow Soft Silicone earplugs that, they feel great, they keep the water out 100%, they're reusable, and they don't irritate your ear canal at all, no issues. If you've ever had a severe ear infection, you don't want to experience that again. It can permanently damage your hearing if you're unlucky. So investing in these earplugs is definitely a good idea. Also, when my baby was crying later this year and I could not get to sleep, I used the same earplugs and they worked great. I was able to sleep right next to a crying baby. So be sure to click my affiliate link and purchase some of these Mack's earplugs today.
I got my dog after a suicide attempt that landed me in the hospital for a while. I was beyond depressed, abusing alcohol, and I just had a thought that I wanted a dog. I was scrolling through adoption ads, going into random pet stores, checking all the rescues. And then one day I saw my pup in a little cage with some other dogs. He wasn't even 3 pounds and he didn't give a fuck that anyone was looking at him. He was just chilling and doing his own thing, all the other puppies were jumping around. I held him in my arms and I just had this warm feeling fill my entire chest. It was the first time it really felt like that in a long time. It's been 2.5 years now and I'm not depressed anymore. My life has done a complete 180 and my dog is currently sitting here grabbing my hand like, excuse me, you're welcome now, pet me. Anytime the thought that life isn't going my way comes, I look at him and remember that everything has to be okay, BC he needs me. So I agree, the world's best antidepressant. My mom has cancer. Recently we talked about assisted suicide if the pain overtook. And she responded with a firm no. I have been depressed for as long as I remember, played with the idea of suicide for probably 2 to 3 years. Before her cancer my excuse was I wouldn't want her to be sad and blame herself. Now that there is a giant chance she doesn't reach the end of the year, I can't imagine doing it anymore, taking the easy way out. Not being there to comfort my dad, brothers and sisters. This blew up. I hope my comment comforts your pain and the memories it brings up. 1. Looked at objectively, my life is pretty okay, compared to so many others. 2. Depression is an affliction, not a moral failing. No need to feel guilty about suffering from it. I didn't chop my foot off when I sprained my ankle, so no need to overreact to a common mental health malady, either. 3. Remember your Hemingway from high school, the world breaks everybody so no need to feel singled out. 4. Remember your Aeschylus from high school, who but a god can go through life unmarked. 5. So many people have emerged out the other side of depression, maybe not entirely cured but able to function and even appreciate life again. When you're going through a slough, you've got to remember that it has a beginning, a middle and an end. Jumping off a bridge has a very high chance of fuck up. I once saw a site which helpfully and honestly listed the chances of fuck up in suicide by type of attempt, also including painfulness and speed. Hanging, pills, firearm, etc. The quickest and least painful was explosives as I remember. But anyway, jumping off something was listed as very painful, slow, you usually take a while to drown with broken legs, ruptured lungs, etc., and likely to just wash ashore and live out your remaining life crippled in pain and unable to try again. So, don't do that. I'll try. Weird that you post this thread today. I have worked out that I'm only alive for my daughter who needs me. Might have to throw in the towel on my business of 20 years that I've fought hard to keep going so that I can support my daughter. I have no employment options and no resources beyond the meager amount my business generates. It's kind of sick. All I want to do is look after my family and be with them, but if I want to look after them I must be away from them. 1. Not giving my parents the happiness, pride and everything in the world that they absolutely deserve. 2. The feeling that I never lived to begin with. Never fell in love. Not even a crush as my social anxiety forbade it. 3. If I end it all now, My father, who's a heart patient, will collapse, and so will my mother, and I can never let that happen even if my life is fucked. My mental health is suffering, and I know every day is a battle and every day I am losing. I used to think about it every day. I've recently been severely fucked over, massively, am homeless. Been homeless for 7 days. I've never been happier, haven't thought about killing myself once. I have an apartment on the 15th, but it's gone, it ends. I promise, it eventually gets better. I was in so deep I forced myself to move hundreds of miles away because I knew staying meant inevitable suicide. Now I have so many amazing things to live for that bring me joy. Hang in, your life holds so much worth, but you need to care for yourself so as to better be there for your child. I struggle with this all the time. My wife and child need me. But they need a healthy me. I can't effectively be the husband-father they need if I don't at least minimally take care of myself. Know this, they need a healthy you. A stable, present you. One of my dad's friends jumped off a bridge, I believe the Brooklyn Bridge, and survived the initial attempt. He spent the next 3 days in the hospital before he finally died. I can't imagine how much pain he must have been during those last few days.
This year, like I said, I'm having a midlife crisis. I've started a YouTube channel and I'm on a big health kick. One thing that I found is very easy to eat, very easy to prepare, is I heat up chickpeas with chicken broth and tikka masala. And there are two schools of thought about how you should eat beans. Some people believe you should buy the dry beans and soak them, but I tried that and it was a disaster. So I buy canned beans every time. And if I'm opening like 2 cans a day to be on this diet, it is a massive pain in the ass if the can has this jagged metal edge. I'm worried if like little bits of metal are getting into my food and going to slice up my intestines. So I found this special can opener that actually opens the can in a way that is completely safe, no metal's getting in your food, and is 1,000 times better than any other can opener I've ever used. So if you wind up, opening a lot of cans for whatever reason, maybe you've got a cat or something, you must buy this can opener from my affiliate link.
I've a similar reason. I always thought that no one could help me. I isolated myself thinking that talking to someone would never make it better, but I let people in and it helped. I made so many close friends and reconnected with my old ones. I love waking up to texts from them, and I like that I've some people to give my love and care to. It's really fulfilling. Almost 2 years ago, my friend tried to shoot himself in the head. He wasn't successful, and because the rifle was at an angle, he ended up missing his brain and blew out the side of his face. He lost part of his face, including an eye. His mom found him and had to keep his head together with her hands while a helicopter came to bring him to the hospital. He survived and had a horrible, painful recovery, emotionally and physically. Spelling, my cat. I actually have 2. One ended up with me and the other I picked out after my OG kitty died, R.I.P. little girl. While I love and care dearly for both my boys, it's the replacement I picked up from the shelter that keeps me going. He's the reason I don't call into work more often and what makes me excited to get home from work. And vacations. Actual vacations. I feel like I didn't experience my first real vacation until I was 30, and it was a lifesaver. Literally. I was fairly certain if I didn't go somewhere for my 30th birthday I was just going to drink myself to death at home. Ended up going out west, first vacation alone, saw mountains for the first time and met some amazing locals. It really rejuvenated my faith in humanity and reminded me that people can be genuine and truly nice, and not need a reason for it. It also made me realize just how much of the US I haven't seen, and need to see. So, now I'm working on seeing all the national parks in my lifetime. First one is coming up in May. I'm so stoked. For me it was the exact opposite. I don't have a very good relationship with my family, but I have a fantastic relationship with my wife's family. I had a plan after my accident left me paraplegic. I intended to divorce my wife and commit suicide and leave everything to my parents and siblings so that they had to deal with this bomb of a mess. My wife found out before I could do it, and we faced our demons together in therapy. She felt guilty for causing my accident. I went to get her booze, got hit by a semi-truck on the way, and I felt my life was over anyway. We are good now. I got her family, and my 9-year-old daughter to live for now. Not to mention, you never know what's coming next. I had a good relationship with my mom, but she was always depressed and drinking, thus not the best parent. It happens. My dad had full custody, but I still got to see her 2 weekends a month. I forgot to call her on her birthday once, and that was it. I guess she figured I didn't care and it wasn't worth it anymore. I'd be better off with my dad. In reality, I just had undiagnosed ADHD and forgot. I was 11. Anyways, my point being that 2 years later, to the day, my dad died of cancer. She really fucked me over. Had to grow up without anyone really caring about me. Almost 2 decades later, and I still have a massive subconscious problem getting close to and trusting women.
Do you have any idea how convenient it is to use a Keurig machine for brewing coffee or tea? Personally, I gave up coffee a long time ago, but I was able to get a great, delicious cup of coffee in just seconds with no cleanup, no extra work using a Keurig machine and a K-cup. And now I use my Keurig machine to brew tea, loose leaf tea, every day that I drink. And I also use it to make oatmeal and, anything else that you can put hot water into. So if you don't have a Keurig machine in your house, you're missing out. Try my affiliate link below in the description of the video, and you too can enjoy a great cup of coffee in seconds any time of day.